Every great aircraft carrier has a ring of ships protecting it. The same with a big, powerful pedophile. So I guess this is number 4. The other one's 3A, 3B. So maybe this is 5. It depends on when you want to count it, okay? So this is 4 or 5. How did he get away with it? Holy shit, man. Well, I was there that day. Up at the courtroom. I had been working taxi. And as most taxi drivers are, they're witness to things. And I was there for a minor court case, and I was supposed to testify. I was there just to ensure that she pled guilty. Oops, here comes the wind. So I hope you hang in there. So, and here was a neat thing. In the courtroom, I was sitting in the hall. All of a sudden there was a buzz. Seriously, there was a big buzz. And the OPP come running out and says, we got to get a couple guys on this. And they had to go get warrants, and they had warrants already established. And because 3 guys were standing up because a underage girl of a mentally challenged girl was raped by these 3 kids. One of them whom was Springer's victims. All 3 of them, I think, might have been victims. And the kid stood up, and they were going to jail, and he says, well, how come Springer gets away with it? And then the judge went through. This was a very nice judge, because the local cops weren't going to be doing anything. They claimed they did, but they weren't going to do anything. So that's the outer level of protection that he had. And so the OPP were called. They went to his place, I guess about the next day or so. And they raided his place in Marathon, but magically, somebody informed the other conspirators, the other part of the ring, that the police were going to be coming over to them. So they cleared everything out. Tapes, film, everything. So when the police finally got there, nothing. And this guy had one of the biggest porn collections in, I guess, in Northern Ontario at the time. Which is quite an achievement, because like it's all analog and this is big, and occupied an entire apartment, and he had a basement apartment full of it. But he was a ringleader, one of them. And these guys were all good Catholics. Seriously, yeah, all good Catholics. You can sue me for what I want, but this is part and parcel. And so they were warned. And to this day, the OPP believed that they were warned by somebody inside the Marathon Police Department. And they were probably right. And it was a person of influence who knew that they were going to raid. Yeah. So that's the outer level of protection. The police protected him. The ring, that is. Because it's more important to protect the ring. The ring protected itself, in other words. Their leader, the center of the ring, Springer, was busted. There was nothing they could do. So I guess they must have been very well off, because I know they bought him out. He didn't pay for his lawyer. Well, he claimed he paid for his lawyer. Well, let's put his lawyer paid for. Blah, blah, blah. Got 2 or 3 years in jail and moved on to another place. He even got a job. I think they even bought him a pizza store somewhere. I'm not sure what happened after he left Marathon. It's a good thing, too. But there was a level of layers of protection, and the ring was so big, so big. I discerned 3 layers of protection. First, the outer ring was the police department. Then there was a ring of, like, the school board, school officials, and the town officials who knew something about it, so knew what was going on. Preferred to leave him alone, but used his influence to advance promote them. I know one guy, he got promoted all the way up to a district regional manager for municipal affairs because he knew Springer had some influence in the Liberal Party. There's another ring. Springer kept himself really, really well protected. Then you had the inner core, the ones who went to the parties, the ones who used the kids, the ones who were part of the whole thing. So that was 3 levels of protection for our Mr. Springer. 3 levels. And he only got away with a couple of years in jail. I think he died of something. Thank God. Heart problems, hopefully. But that's how a pedophile ring works. They have levels of protection, police protection, official protection, and then their activities. And the poor victims of the kids are in the inner circle getting screwed. That's how that works. And that's the way it is. But now you know what I was trying to get a hold of. And that's what I figured the levels of protection on that list. And that's a problem because somebody could be on both lists, or I didn't know exactly what they were, and I don't think anybody else knew exactly what the other one was. People knew and they didn't know. You know? Yeah. A lot of people knew and they just denied it and pretend they didn't know. A lot of people. But there's nothing, he couldn't have done all the things he did without people knowing, without people helping him, without having allies. No, impossible.